Class of 2021, you may be seated now, please. Good evening, Skyline family, friends, students, and staff. Welcome back to campus, Visual and Performing Arts seniors. We are so happy to be with you here today. I am sure when you imagined your high school senior year and graduation, this was not what you were picturing. None of us could have imagined the last 16 months. But if we've learned anything through this time, the future is uncertain. You could take this sentiment as daunting, or you could take the challenge of the uncertainty as an opportunity to create the world you want. I hope you have taken some of this in, that you have learned from this unusual time, and that you will continue to use it as a foundation, feeling confident in all that you have overcome in order to be sitting here with us today. Tonight is an important rite of passage that marks the end of a particular moment and begins a whole new chapter filled with new challenges and opportunities. We are honored to be here with you tonight to commemorate this important time. And I have to say that we are particularly proud of this class and what you have accomplished in order to be here. I hope that many years from now, you will look back at this time in history and hold some sense of pride that you are the Skyline class of 2021. You are joining a tradition of excellence that consists of a long list of truly dynamic Skyline alum. As seniors, how you add to this legacy depends on you. Class of 2021, tonight we celebrate you. With that, I would like to invite to the podium Visual and Performing Arts Assistant Principal, Rebecca Wong.
Good evening, Visual and Performing Arts community. It is so wonderful to see our community here together again in person, in Titan red and white. On behalf of our Skyline team, I want to say how happy we are to be with you here tonight to celebrate this very special class of 2021. It has been my honor and my privilege to work alongside you and to serve you as your assistant principal. I've enjoyed getting to know you and your families. I am so proud of what you have accomplished. Visual and performing artists have a passion, a creativity, a drive that no matter which field you pursue later in life, later you end up in, you will take with you foundational knowledge from these years, going deep into your passion to get the job done, taking risks and stepping outside of your comfort zone, expressing yourself, pushing yourself to perform at your best. You've been doing all of these things, and you'll take all of these pieces and practices with you onward. I want to take a moment to acknowledge and thank our families and guests that came out tonight or who are watching at home. You have been the source of love and support throughout. I want to take another moment to thank the teaching team of Visual and Performing Arts, most of whom are here tonight sitting with our graduates. Thank you for being loving and supportive, especially during this crazy senior year. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce the leader of this teaching team. He is an accomplished artist, a rigorous and passionate teacher, and just a really nice and caring human being. The director of Skyline Visual and Performing Arts Pathway, Mr. Jamie Tracy.
Good afternoon, young artists, activists, musicians, actors, dancers, designers, and creative visionaries. This is your day. The class of 2021 Skyline Visual and Performing Arts Pathway graduation ceremony. I am so honored to share this stage with your senior teachers, administrators, and care team, and to be here with you in person. I address you by your artistic identities because I want to speak with you today about nurturing your creative life after high school. Partway through this school year, I feared I wouldn't be able to deeply connect with you through the awkwardness of Zoom. But I realized through closely studying your art and writing, I felt our ties deepen. Seeing how your artwork shined a light on teen mental health in AP Art, and your innovative dramatic work filmed at home for Miss Awele's class, and your nuanced dance performances for Miss James's class, and your essays for senior capstone with Mr. Brooks and Miss Nelson. It was through your work that you showed us your truth. Much has been said in the past year about resilience, or one's ability to recover from and overcome difficulties. You have balanced working to support your family while caring for siblings. You met academic demands while planning for college and career. You are resilient beings. But you know what? Being asked to be resilient all the time is exhausting. Feeling that extreme hardship is the default mode is exhausting. I've been thinking a lot about how the pandemic has affected people differently, yet how hard it is for us to have true empathy when we can't see each other. This year in our isolation and distance, your teachers didn't always know when you were in pain, lonely, or anxious. We didn't always understand why you had trouble sleeping or missed class. I felt a disconnect between how I was experiencing the pandemic and how it was for you as a high school senior. It wasn't until our senior capstone meetings on Zoom where you requested adjustments to capstone that it really landed for me. But seeing you advocate for yourselves and for each other was a gift, which I learned deeply from. Looking through your senior capstone websites over the past few weeks has filled me with so much pride. I'm thinking about Kyla's series on women's rights, Lali's essay and artwork about the education in the Tongan community, and Eduardo's essay about connecting to distance learning in Oakland from Guatemala, and so many more. As students, you were called upon to grapple with huge life problems that would overwhelm adults twice your age, yet you still carved out time to create art, and that's powerful. We spent a lot of time in class talking about arts industry jobs this year and hearing from visiting artists, honing your craft and writing your resume, and we showed you the path to a creative career if you desire it. But I stand here with you at the opening of your adult life after Skyline, and I feel compelled to remind you that the artistic skills you have fostered are not only for college and career, but are also powerful personal medicine. Even as you celebrate our emergence from the worst pandemic the world has seen in 100 years, there will be times when exhaustion, depression, and anxiety may creep back into your life and try to steal away your joy, often for no good reason. But draw one silly doodle or dance one flourish in front of the mirror or speak one line into the microphone and then see where that takes you. We're wired to think that great art only takes place when others are there to witness, applause, and praise. But the art you make is not just about the finished product that you share with the world, but the private journey that it takes you on, the way it helps you sort out what's really important and what you can let go of. It's an internal world you can always return to. Young adulthood, whether in college or at your job, can take you to the edge of your sanity. Just ask your parents what it was like to wait for that financial aid to come through or for their paycheck to clear before they could buy groceries. But when life brings you to the brink, you have your art to guide you back to yourself. I marked the beginning of my art career in my junior year of high school when I first made a real commitment to the life of an artist. And in the 25 years since then, my own art practice has helped me to survive harassment in high school and college and overcome imposter syndrome, and has been a tool to bring myself out of depression. One of the reasons I think creating art is such powerful mental health medicine is because the act of creating helps to distance us from our perceived failures. The second you start making something, you've succeeded. Then build on each little discovery. Soon that terrible memory or argument or financial worry is now a little more distant, and you can look at it objectively and maybe see a path forward. The adult world will often try to convince you that you're too busy to create, but when you carve out time to dive into your art practice, you'll find that your shoulders will loosen and your jaw will relax and time will slip away, even if it's just for a little while. Let go of the need to feel inspired as a prerequisite for making art. Inspiration is a lot of pressure. What if instead you just start with curiosity? What if I move my body this way to the beat? What if I try this color combination? The beautiful thing about curiosity is that it invites in new possibilities where you may have thought there were none. Look for curiosity everywhere. It may be the way the light comes in your room while you're lying in bed feeling low, or the voluminous fog that sweeps into the bay in the early evening. It could be in the conversation you overhear on BART. That curious spark is your opening to another future you hadn't yet considered. It's part of your toolkit for self-care. As you leave SVPA as graduating seniors, my biggest wish for you is that you hold on to the joy you feel when you create and make it a priority in your life. Your writing, your acting, your dance, your painting, your comic book art, and every other media you might explore. Whether you choose to perform and exhibit, your art is completely up to you. But that joy you feel is yours to keep and share with those you trust. Know that you have forever changed your teachers' lives, uplifted your peers, and made your families brim with pride. Even through this year of physical distance, you have made yourselves known in the world. My heart is so full when I think of our time together. And while I may be saying goodbye to you as my students, it is with enormous pleasure that I say hello to you as my fellow artists. Happy graduation, class of 2021. I love you all. It is my pleasure to introduce our first student speaker, Natalie Ford.
Good evening, everybody. I'm so excited to be here in this position with all of you. Give yourself some hand claps. Come on. The 4 years that we have spent at Skyline High School has been a journey. The last year, we have been holding on to the faith of one day being able to see each other again. Even through the hard times, the good times, and even the sad, we are still here today. I am proud of each and every one of you. I just want to take a moment to speak to the BIPOC community and to our Black youth. We stood up even when the country had its back turned on us. We fought for what we believed in today, and today is the day we break through those chains and uplift our heads up high as our ancestors are our backbone through the journey of life. To my Asian American and Pacific Islander students, we stand in solidarity with you. May you find the strength and courage to forgive those who are fanning the flames of hate. To the Latinx community, your strength of standing up and fighting even when ICE was in the community, threatening to take people away from their families, into detention centers, locked up in cages. Even to this day, my heart goes out to you. To the Native Americans, indigenous people who are the designated keepers of this land. This country has not acknowledged nor taken the full responsibility for the damage and harm and pain that this country has caused. As we are standing in the territory of the Chochenyo Ohlone people in East Oakland. 2020 was the year where all our strengths were tested. That was the year of judgment, and we all passed and made it here. I want y'all to remember something. Those people say that you can't make it. You can't do it. What you doing here? You're going to drop out. You have no money, you have nothing, you don't have a job. What is your future looking like? I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, child, anyways. We are titans. You are a warrior. Believe in yourself and don't let nobody tell you different. Leading into the end of my speech, I just want to hold a moment of silence for all the lives that were lost due to COVID-19, for the people whose lives were taken too soon by the hands of police brutality and excessive force. Now, as you crossed over into the next chapter of your life, I want to leave you guys with something. Keep your head up. Don't ever see you with your head down. Don't ever see them, don't ever let them frown. Don't ever let them see you frown. Keep that smile on your face. And I really want to say congratulations to class of 2021. And now I'm going to introduce Owen Klein.
Thank you, Natalie. And hello, SVPA. It's so great to see everyone here in 3D. My name is Owen Klein. It is my honor to say a few words to mark today's momentous occasion. Let us start by acknowledging the fact that, well, we made it through some major challenges over the past 4 years, especially with the hailstorm, the smoke, and of course, the pandemic. The pandemic was transformational for all of us. It took our loved ones, our savings, our motivation. We took on new responsibilities as babysitters and breadwinners, all while balancing schoolwork, college apps, and extracurricular activities. Distance learning drained our energy, gave us migraines, and converted us all into black-squared zombies. Frankly, the level of tenacity that we and our wonderful teachers and administrators have demonstrated over the past year is amazing. Despite the pandemic, we saw a long overdue racial reckoning in this country, although it came at the cost of far too many lives. Please let me say their names. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Dante Wright, Orlando Castillo, Michael Brown, Ronald Green. The list goes on. Make no mistake, our work here is not done. In fact, it's barely started. But we, young people, are driving racial equality forward. We have the strength and the will to root out systemic racism in housing, education, employment, healthcare, and the criminal justice system. We demand that all people, as Dr. King put it, be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Our art is a weapon, not of violence or oppression, but of compassion and trust. Our paintings, illustrations, and animations, our dance, music, and theater inspire millions around the world. Never underestimate the power of art as a tool of social change. Now let me tell you, Zoom plus senioritis was not a great combination. I think I speak for several of us when I say that the pro strategy towards the end was to wake up literally at 9 a.m., log into the Zoom, mute on, camera off, go back to bed, but have your alarm set for 10:14 so you remember to log out on time. Sorry, teachers, but I'm sure you knew it all along. I had one teacher who always used the full 75 minutes of synchronous time. But one day, just out of the blue, he decided to end 15 minutes early. He said, "Okay, class, I think we're done for the day. If you have any questions, feel free to hang back." Sure enough, half the class leaves, the other half remains. Teacher was like, "Well, that's a lot of questions. Jackson, why don't you go first?" Silence. "Jackson, you there?" Silence. "Jackson, you put it in the chat?" No response. Turns out nobody had a question. But right at 10:15, everyone drops off without saying a word. Yeah. It really begs the question, as President George W. Bush once asked, is our children learning? Anyway, let's hear it again for the SVPA class of 2021. We've made it this far, so whatever the future holds, I know that we will face it boldly with resilience and determination. The world needs us. It needs our art. Please don't forget that. And with that, I'd like to welcome our third student speaker, Samantha Ivey. Thank you.
Hello, class of 2021. I want to start out by saying, just looking out, at first, it's hard to say that there's any single quality that any of us all share here. Skyline is a school that is diverse in literally every category, from race, culture, sexuality, economics, skills, and even political beliefs to some extent. Our diversity is our greatest strength, and it shows in how we've learned to become a community together. However, there is one thing that we all have in common. In only 4 years as a high school student in Skyline High School, I have watched this school travel through hell and back. California fires polluted our school's air and cut our power. The top members of the district disrespected our teachers and pushed them to strike. An atrociously handled outbreak evolved into a global pandemic, forcing us to continue our education online. In times like these, we discover who our true allies are. Our leaders have failed us, and yet we are all here today because of what we have in common. The Skyline community is the most resilient group there is. My generation is passionate, and when we have something to say, we shout until someone listens. Our voices are our greatest asset. You must all promise never to let that spark die out. As we become adults and step into the real world, we will have more power than we have here. Whether you like it or not, this world needs to change, so no other generation has to face these conditions. We have been beaten down in more ways by systems that are not designed to benefit us. We have put our blood, sweat, and tears into an education system that is falling apart. We have watched our rights being denied over and over again. But take a strong look at where we are now. I want to thank the teachers, administration, and families who refused to give up on us when the challenges grew more and more demanding. And I want to thank the class of 2021 for giving me hope for our future. Thank you. I welcome Ms. Wong back to the podium.
All right, let's give it up one more time for our three awesome student speakers, Natalie Ford, Owen Klein, and Samantha Ivy. I would now like to introduce our final guest speaker of the evening. This Skyline staff member is someone who knows everyone and everyone knows her. She is a motivator. She's a mover and a shaker. She's a truth teller, and she does so with love. She is the one and only Genesis Rubin, AKA Miss who? AKA Miss G.
Hello, y'all hear me? Hey, y'all, what's up? Hey, y'all gotta turn up. Y'all about to graduate. Give it up, y'all. Come on, man. I thought y'all was graduating today. We ain't at a funeral. We at a graduation, y'all. Turn up, y'all. Give yourselves one more hand clap, man. Man, I don't know about y'all, but I'm super excited. And I'm super excited because y'all didn't just make it through a pandemic, but you just broke some generational curses in your family. You just became your little sister and your little brother's big role model. So guess what they gonna do after you? They gonna try to graduate because they just seen you graduate. So love yourself right now. In fact, everybody just hug themselves. Just go like this, like, ooh, I did that. All right, for sure. So I'm not gonna be up here too long because I know y'all been hearing me yelling in the hallways and running down the, oh, go to class, right? So I don't want to talk too much, but I do want to leave y'all with some things, okay? You guys are now at a point in your life where you're grown. You guys are grown now. You guys are not looked at no more as little kids. You guys are looked at as grown adults, all right? So now there's some questions that come in, right? Like, what am I gonna do? What's my purpose? What's next, right? Well, guess what? I ain't got the answer, but I got some advice I could share with y'all. Is that okay with y'all? Is that cool? All right, cool. Well, there's this one thing. You guys know who Steve Harvey is. Very famous guy, but he has a great story behind him. But one thing that he said is that when you're trying to find your purpose and your gift in life, you have to analyze your life. Find the thing that you do easiest, the thing that takes the least effort, and then when you find it, you need to maximize it and master it. That's how you find your gifts. That's how you find your purposes. So, find that thing that resonates with your heart. Find that thing that resonates with your soul, and then go master and maximize that. Now, questions, I bet you ask me, like, Ms. G, how you do that? Well, you master it through experiences by trying. Don't be afraid to try, okay? And then you maximize it through knowledge by being open to always learning. You never stop learning, okay? So I hope you take those two things and put those efforts into whatever you find that resonates with your soul. Moving to my second thing, don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. Y'all hear me? Do not be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. You can't grow if you comfy. Y'all hear me? You cannot grow if you comfy. If you wrapped up in a blanket all day, you ain't gonna get no exercise, right? So you gotta get out your comfort zone, okay? And then you gotta always, like I said earlier, always remember to try and really try to see if it works for you. Not for your buddy, not for your mama, for you, all right? See what works for you. And like, don't be afraid. I thought y'all was from the Bay. Y'all from the Bay? I'm from the Bay. You from the Bay? So you already know we from the Bay. We could do anything in the Bay. This the land of the hustlers. We could do anything. Step out on faith. Understand that you got to walk this life and live this life to the fullest because you only got one. This ain't Call of Duty. You don't get a second life. All right? Please understand that. Third thing I want to hit y'all with is growing pains. There's going to be a lot of growing pains in your life. It just started. In fact, I bet y'all felt it 10th grade year when you looked at your grades. You probably felt it 12th grade year when you slept through that Zoom class, okay? All right, understand, you're going to go through some growing pains. And you want to know why they call it growing pains? Because it hurts to grow. Because that means you're moving out of a comfortable situation to be uncomfortable to grow. That's why they call it growing pains. So accept it, love it, and deal with it. Fall in love with the process of the journey. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Please, there's processes and everything. There's no shortcuts in life, y'all. It really not. So fall in love with the process. Keep going. Go as hard as you can. You're going to make it. Trust me, you made it already. So what could stop you now? Just keep going, okay? I'm going to close out because I feel like I'm talking a little too much because I get to preaching. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, but as I close, I want y'all to remember this one quote. It helped me through college, and it helps me through life still to this day. People's opinions are not your reality. Can y'all repeat that with me? People's opinions. I can't hear y'all. People's opinions. People's opinions. Thank you. So don't let nobody stop you for what you want to do. This is your life now. Can't nobody do nothing for you but you for you. Now, if you go put the effort out, you'll get support on the way, but you got to make those moves. This is your life now. Please understand that. So I just want to leave y'all with the words of Big Sean. Everything I do is my first name. So make sure y'all do it big at all times. I love y'all. I'm trying not to tear up and be soft, but I love y'all. Class of 2021, be great, and be great. Love y'all.
Thank you so much, Genesis. Now, to help us present the class of 2021, I'd like to bring back to the podium Mr. Jamie Tracy and two senior teachers, Ms. Brandy Nelson and Mr. Kisasi Brooks.
Dr. D, it is our pleasure to present to you for certification the Skyline High School class of 2021.
The class of 2021 has overcome tremendous hurdles and challenges throughout their 4 years of high school.
The students being presented have met all graduation requirements as set forth by the great state of California and by the Oakland Unified School District.
The students being presented here today will go out and change the world, and it is important that we honor and acknowledge them here today.
Dr. D, please acknowledge, accept, and certify that the Skyline High School Visual and Performing Arts Pathway class of 2021 has met all of their graduation requirements to complete their high school diploma this evening.
Thank you. I humbly accept and certify the students among us, the Skyline High School Visual and Performing Arts class of 2021, have met all graduation requirements set forth by this great state of California and Oakland Unified School District.
Mr. Kisasi Brooks, Ms. Brandy Nelson, please join us in reading the names of our graduates. Okay. Row 1, you may stand up and enter the stage. So, you're going to read. Yep, that's perfect. You don't mind.
They're going to hand us the cards?
Yeah, they're going to hand you the card on the F.
Got it.
Stand on it. You can go first.
Daniela Acevedo Hernandez.
Ayoko Agbubali Atai.
Jennifer Andrade.
Gabriela Arroyo Farias.
Isaiah Baptiste.
Kyla Bello.
Raina Cobbs.
Elisha Coleman.
Shania Cooper.
Natalie Ford.
Margelli Fraile.
Paloma Garcia.
Row 2, please stand up and enter the stage. Okay. Rosa Gutierrez Macaulay.
Kanaya Grays.
Alexander Hennings.
Malcolm Hatch.
Samantha Ivy.
Kevin Hernandez.
Demarion Jones.
Antoine Jackson.
Desmond Lee.
Owen Klein.
Wait till Owen gets to the side.
Kaya Marchetti Rose.
Christine Legatos.
Okay, you can have a seat. And can we have row 3 please rise and come to the stage? Maria Medina.
Milan Miraz.
Marcus Miles.
Nia Nicholson.
Hey, Nia.
Erica Ortiz.
Joshua Porter.
Lexington Page.
Yay, Lexi!
Luis Ramos.
Jarius Ranillo.
Yay, Darius!
Jacqueline Rivera.
Ingrid Rainey.
Mark Jensen.
Okay, thank you, row 3. You can have a seat. And row 4, please stand up and come to the stage. Ricardo Sanchez.
Havana Rook.
Amy Sims.
Yvonne Sedano Mesa.
David Tobias Monson.
Jia Chen Tang.
Helen von Kugelen.
Angel Vigueres.
Yolanda Williams.
Driana Washington. Jingyi Zhou.
Row 4, please have your seat. Oh, okay. All right. Parents and guests, before we begin the recessional, please show our graduates and guests your courtesy by not leaving your seat until all graduates have had some time together on the field and have had picked up their diplomas. Please respect their time together for the last time. You may greet your graduates on the football field after they receive their diplomas. Class of 2021, please move your tassel from right to the left. I am happy to present Skyline High School Visual and Performing Arts Class of 2021. Congratulations!